Welcome back to the Manestream Podcast, and I want to say this is the first podcast of the new school year, so we're really excited for it. My name is Ian Stewart, and
I am Sean.
Sean and I are going to be talking about something that has caught my eye in the past, few months or so, but, it's been something that I've been interested in talking about, and it's parasocial relationships.
Oh yeah. If you don't know what parasocial relationships are, it's basically relationships with celebrities, um, and what connects you to these celebrities. So the big topic right now is Chappelle Rowan and her special fan base
Yeah.
that is obsessed with her.
To put it mildly. And other celebrities who have also been subject to very awkward interactions. To put it mildly, we have a few examples, but like Chappelle Ronan. That's she released a video. I think last month.
Yeah.
Where she was a TikTok video where she's basically explaining that she shouldn't be made into this total asshole if she's not interested in if someone comes up to her and is like, hey, can you take a picture, or hey, let's do this or that. She shouldn't be the ass in the situation for not being comfortable with just being approached by someone she doesn't know at all.
It's basically talking about how she thinks some of these fans are a little bit entitled.
Yeah.
So they think that it's okay just to go up randomly without asking permission to be like, hey, can I take a picture with you? Or just being like, hey, can I get a hug? They don't really ask permission. And then they before she made the TikTok, supposedly on a podcast that she did, it was on the comment section on Spotify. She was talking to Drew. I don't know how to say her last name, but it's the host of the show.
Yeah.
And she goes out to say that people are starting to be a little freaky, and they follow her and her parents outside of concerts. They know where her parents live and where her sister works, which is a little personal to her.
Yeah.
You know.
And I feel like that's where, cause a picture, it's still a little awkward. For if you and I were celebrities in some way, and we're just out. For us, it's just a normal day, and we're at Luma's for just getting a coffee. We're not feeling great, but we're not feeling bad. We're just feeling how we would on a normal day. And someone comes up to us and hey, could you, let's take a picture, or say a shout out to my cousin or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be a little strange, but I feel the extra mile of oh, I know where you're, not in a threatening way, but it is still weird. I know where your siblings, or where your old childhood.
You know everything about yourself that someone else already knows. Someone knows everything that you know about yourself.
Someone else who you have never, you didn't know they existed up until they approach you. I feel that's so. From my perspective, when I first watched the video, I was yeah, I can not relate, obviously, but I can understand, especially since she's been in the music business for a while, but not she's been rising over the past year or so. So to come from the middle and rise all the way to superstardom is jarring.
Yeah, so she really grew when she went and opened for Chappelle Rowan. not Chappelle Rowan. I'm sorry, Chappelle Rowan. It went black.
That's fine.
Oh, okay. So
Yep.
Chappelle Rowan. It really kicked off when Chappelle Rowan opened for Olivia Rodrigo. If you don't know, she was actually popular before Olivia Rodrigo, but she blew up with a huge fan base after opening for her, which led to fans being a little bit too attached to her, and bringing in a lot of those crazy fans that might do over the top stuff, like know when certain things are for her, like her like address, again like her address, and like just start following her because they feel like a personal connection with Chappelle Rowan,
right?
That doesn't feel weird.
Yeah, because it's like they listen to, and I'm painting with a wide brush because this could. I feel like since they, or some of these people, like listen to her music all the time, and like she's their favorite artist, and like, oh, she resonates, like she gets me, like she has no idea who I am, but it's like that sort of thing where it's like, oh, you've helped me through a hard time, like you're a pal, like if she and I were to meet in real life, we'd be pals.
Yeah, but she doesn't know like who you are, kind of thing, and just going up to her and like
expecting that sort of, oh, like you're like we're siblings.
Yeah, or like we're best friends.
Yeah,
basically.
Or more, depending on what type of person you're dealing with.
And like, so really her since her fan base kicked off so well, it brought in a lot of attention to her, which made her feel really overwhelmed and actually led to her canceling some shows.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 of them. It was after like the North Carolina show.
Yeah.
She like canceled 2 shows at 2 different festivals. And she said she just needed like a mental health break, which is very understandable.
Right, because as human, like we people think of mental health like wanting to like take a like step away for that type of reason. Like people say it, they get it. Like now people say, oh, I understand mental health, but like they still don't. Like they still feel like it's, well, just keep it to yourself, like, or just like push through it, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And like, of course, there's a lot of fans that support her and like actually support her decision going through like canceling these shows or possibly like canceling interviews, because it can be a lot, like it could be a huge toll on somebody, you know, when everyone's looking at you for answers for certain things, like about what other people do to you or like what you want to do in the future with your career. And it just causes someone a lot of stress.
Yeah. And I feel like the response, like, to the video, like, initially, and to the tour cancellation, because I feel like the video response was like, well, this is the business. Like, why would you be uncomfortable with a stranger coming up to you? Like, that's normal. Or, like, they feel like it should be normal for her to just like accept it or like just take it all in, like. But I feel like because when was the tour canceled?
It was canceled.
I feel like it was
over
definitely
the summer.
I think. So like that on top of her initial video just sort of compounded this sort of, well, she doesn't appreciate her status, or like I feel like it's more like she doesn't appreciate us, because it's going back to that sort of misunderstanding what type of relationship you really have with an artist, because it's like, again, you guys aren't as close as you really think.
Yeah, and like personally, I feel a little bit for her only because like I know it can be a lot.
Yeah.
And there definitely are fans out there that are upset about this, that her canceling was a little bit over the line because a lot of celebrities do get famous over time and they're usually okay with it.
Yeah.
She wasn't okay with it because it was a lot at once. Like she got popular, like her views and like her hits, um, her audience just grew in over 2 months.
Right.
Um,
It's one thing like if you're going from like, oh, I was like at the bottom of like the music like space, and then over a span of like a decade or so, like you get to like the peak. But like for like going from a summer straight to the top, it's jarring.
yeah,
Like very very jarring.
and she's like new to all of this too. Like she became popular with one of her first songs, which was HOTTOGO, Hot to Go. Uh, and yeah, she was popular off of that, but once she like actually started doing concerts with Olivia Rodrigo, again it kicked off.
Yeah.
And it kicked off so fast she wasn't able to keep up with it. During a show in North Carolina over the summer, I think in June, she actually choked up a little bit and told everyone it was a lot for her to like handle.
Yeah.
She of course apologized to the crowd and made sure that everyone understood like it's not them and she's not trying to underperform, but there's just so much going on right now.
Right.
Um, which I can feel for her because she is a human. And if you do something crazy and you get insanely popular, you're going to kind of question some things in your life because everyone's giving you such a lot of attention. All eyes are on you, like
Yeah.
you're in the middle of the stage, like doing a podcast. Like you're in the middle of the stage, everyone's listening to you, so you kind of get a little nervous, whether that's you like performing in sports or singing or painting, anything you do in front of a lot of people and you get a lot of attention, you get the jitters a little bit.
Like they expect you to hold the attention of the room.
Yeah.
And keep that energy of being like the center of attention.
And I think that's what like a lot of people kind of misunderstand is that celebrities are people too, including when you get not fast, when you get popular really fast, it may trigger some emotion because like you're not used to all this attention when you are a smaller artist. And like a lot of these fans develop a weird worship to her. It's actually has a medical name. It's actually called celebrity worship syndrome.
Yeah.
It's when fans develop a strong emotional connection with a celebrity that it becomes an obsession disorder. This can lead to like harmful things to that celebrity coming from like social media and like weird comments. Comments are a big thing in social media, so like social media posts and like weird facts that they will post online.
Right.
And this kind of makes it worse for her because she can't really express anything without hearing other people's opinions. And usually everyone's opinions are very hurtful.
Yeah.
Or they may come off as hurtful, even though that some people are just stating the facts.
And I feel like and even if she does like disengage with social media, because I feel like someone could say, well, she could just get rid of all of her like accounts, like social media apps, one way or another, like in an interview or like if she's like on the red carpet for something.
And like,
it's still gonna end up on. So like even if she's not engaging with social media, she will find herself on social media.
Yeah, like even if she like deletes all of her accounts, she will still be there. She will still be talked about, and she'll still be like all over the news, like because it's a star going down.
Yeah.
It's a celebrity that actually doesn't want to be a celebrity anymore, but she wants, of course, she likes the fame. Everyone loves the fame, but she doesn't like how the fame of her fans, like her popularity between the fans and her, are getting way too weird and actually obsessive. And they're just doing really weird stuff.
Yeah, I have two things, because like any artist, like anyone who has a product, because that's her product, she makes music, like you want it to reach a certain level of, you want to get a number of eyes like watching your stuff or like listening to your music, so like you want the attention in that sort of way, but you don't really want, like what we've been talking about, people like just going up to you, like thinking that they know you, thinking that they know you're, like, because they read your Wikipedia page, or like listen to things you said in an article, like they think they know you. And that's one thing that I feel like social media, like regardless of what platform it is, I feel like it's connected people more with celebrities in a way that it didn't in the past, in the years that social media didn't exist, because like celebrity worship has always existed, like with the Beatles, or like with like Aerosmith, that was the
or
first
like,
band, yeah.
Like Elvis Presley, like I mean,
yeah, Elvis.
They were obsessed. Like I don't know if you saw the Elvis Presley movie, but I know it's a little bit over the top.
I have an idea of what the sort of things. Like I remember seeing like a short clip of like Harry Styles, like he was on tour, but like there was like a clip of him, like he got close to like the front row of a stage, and like these girls just like started grabbing his at his groin, like trying to grope him. I was like, it's very, very weird.
It does
like
happen.
And you have a thing you were talking about with 21 Pilots, someone that happened to.
So during the performances at 21 Pilots, their concerts tend to have a point at the very end where they sing the song Trees, and Josh Dunn gets on a drum set in the middle of the crowd where the security people are holding him on like this wooden platform, and then on top is the drum set.
Yeah.
As he plays, he's in the middle of the pit. So everyone's like trying to grab something of the wood or like trying to get to him, and you see security guards literally like pushing people. And then later at the end of the show, instead of him being on a platform, him and the singer of 21 Pilots, Tyler Joseph, get into the crowd like and start standing. I don't know if they were standing on platforms. I think they were. I'll say they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, fans like trying to reach for their legs, trying to like, they're screaming at them, you know, going crazy over them, and like they are such like an emotional band that their fan base developed this weird clique, and it kind of ruins everyone's experience for their music.
And like that sort of image, like the way you're describing it, like they want a piece of the not a piece of the wood, but like touch the wood, or like touch them. This is weird, like weird, like idol sort of, like if I touch this idol, I'll get some of the
everyone energy. Yeah, it's like they're a god to them. And then it's also like they think like the smallest things that they will possibly get, they won't even get an autograph. Like they'll grab stuff like off the floor, like confetti, and so they'll freak out. They'll sell it on eBay. Some people would do that. Some people would like,
or like a flyer, like sell a flyer, like the bag of confetti.
Yeah, like I'm a little guilty myself. As you see, like I'm wearing like the Used shirt, and this is actually emo band as well I went to see, but I have a bag of confetti from a 21 Pilots concert.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't like obsessed over 21 Pilots. It's that I wanted to remember that I went to that concert. It was a weird emotional time in my life. You know?
Right, but yeah, and that sort of thing, like memorabilia.
Yeah.
Like, this was a important moment in your life. You want something to remember, but it's like that's one thing. But like, oh, I'm here. Let me grab like another person to.
Yeah, let me like grab their shoe and like take off their shoe, like.
Yeah.
And like that kind of brings me to another point. Is that with Billie Eilish? I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah.
I
like her shoes.
Yeah, or like people would grab her during a concert. She would like run out in the middle of the pit, and they'll have like a little runway for her.
Yeah.
And as she's singing, I don't remember what song she was singing, but fans were literally grabbing her shoulders and like grabbing all of this area right here, and then a fan literally like choked her as she was singing, like hit her in the Adam's apple basically.
Yeah.
And just went straight, like midway singing, she kind of missed a note because of it. And then you had fans take things from her as she was performing into the pit. They took like a ring and all that. Now, I do gotta admit, it's kind of, I don't want to point fingers, but it is part of the show. She did want fans to, kind of touch her a little bit, but this was like aggressive assault.
Yeah, like there's a difference. Like, I'm not, like, if you're that close, like, if there's like a space where like you want to, how do I put this? Like, you want a certain level of like closeness for like people who are like in the front like area of the stage. That's not like an invitation to grab and feel as much as you want.
Yeah. I don't know the full, like, I haven't watched a full video of it.
Yeah.
Because I can't find the full video. I just seen like a lot of TikTok clips, and then there's like an interview with her where she's like telling people to chill out. And she understands fans go crazy over her. Billie Eilish also knows that she can be wild herself, and when she does, fans try to match her energy.
Yeah.
And another problem is that when she goes out on stage, fans tend to throw stuff at her because usually she interacts with the crowd.
I was gonna say, like, people throwing stuff, like just anything, like at artists, like whether it's Billie Eilish or whoever, just throwing, like, it's like a fucking party, like throwing.
Yeah.
Well, like, even at a party, it's weird because it's like, but like, this is all very weird.
Yeah, no, like, I actually like totally agree on it, because when she's up there and people throw things at her, somebody threw it was like a water bottle at her, like a full water bottle, I think. Something hit her on stage, and she was like, y'all guys need to chill out. Like, she said it in the middle of the crowd because she's trying to sing. And there were, I think it all started with a TikTok where somebody threw their bra at Billie Eilish. So it was kind of like,
let me throw something at
yeah,
so I can
get it. Yeah, get like, not like, I guess get the attention.
Like, be a part of the trend, like, be recognized. Like, I was a part of this Billie trend for however long.
Like, I threw this entire thing. Like, you can see it back on the video, like, oh, I threw this at Billie Eilish. I was the reason that she got hit with this Mardi Gras beat or something.
Yeah. Like, I was the reason. Like, I've never seen, I don't know, like, if you've seen, like, people, like, artists, like, just, like, walking off because somebody threw something at them.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen people, like, I've seen artists throw whatever got thrown at them back at the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Like, there was an incident. It happened a couple years ago. It was with Soulja Boy. I think it was with Kid Cudi. It was I think it was one of them too.
I think I've seen what you're.
It was like Kid Cudi, right? Yeah. And like someone threw like a water bottle at him, and he was like, "All right, I'm done. Bye."
Yeah, I think that's the one I saw. Like he just walked off. Like
yeah, like. And
I probably, being who I am, like I can handle shenanigans pretty well, but like if the whole point of like this is for other people, like you're not the only one who's watching me perform. No, you're ruining the experience for someone else.
Yeah, and like fans tend to make celebrities mad a lot, which is understandable.
Yeah.
I get mad just at normal people every day.
Yeah, me too.
And like, it's just some celebrities may take more time to get used to that fandom, and I know it's not okay. Some of the things fans do is really over the top, and it ruins it for everybody. Like when Chappelle Rowan was being stalked.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're being stalked, or when they found out their address and like her mom's and like sisters at like where they work and physically go to every day, it ruins that connection with the fans and the celebrity, even though you don't really think of it like that.
Yeah.
And so now like I can understand that Chappelle Rowan may be very cautious into what she brings out into her either music or her interviews, or even just saying hey to a fan. Like she probably doesn't want to do that no more. There's also celebrities that, not just singers, but there's other people like John Cena. There was a video I saw like a couple weeks ago where this fan was like, "Oh, I met John Cena," and he was like videoing him without permission and just kept like, he followed him outside the store.
Yeah.
And John Cena was trying to be very respectful, and he said, you could see his anger on his face, and he was not happy. Like, and he was like, leave me alone. That's basically what he was trying to get at.
I've seen stuff like that too, because like I was watching, I think this happened like in 2007, because it was James Gandolfini, like the actor from The Sopranos. And like this situation, like I get why he was angry, because he was out with his family, and like with his son.
Yeah.
Like they went out to eat, and this guy was filming, and he got really pissed off. Well, like more than pissed off, 'cause like I think he grabbed the camera and threatened to break it. Like threatened to break the phone and to break the guy's face. But it's one of those things where it's like, I think he was paparazzi, which is another situation, but regardless, it's still weird.
It's still like just
invasive, not weird. Like it's actually
just don't bother them.
Yeah.
Like a paparazzi, it is a little bit different, but it's still just like, don't bother them. Like if they are going grocery shopping and paparazzi's there taking photos, kind of like Kanye West. He wakes up at 4 a.m. People are at his house all night, so he opens the garage to go somewhere, and so, like I remember someone was like, it's a meme online, of course, where someone's like, "Good morning, Kanye." Kanye says, to go somewhere else, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just, this parasocial relationships aren't really healthy. They could be, where it's like, if I really enjoy an artist and I want to go see them, and I go to like a meet and greet that's officially,
that's the point.
Yeah. Like that's planned, and like that's the point of doing, then I would do that.
Cool.
But if it's not, then
if I'm out at Walmart on like Tuesday, like in 1 in the afternoon, like just getting stuff, like knowing me, I probably wouldn't want to be approached. Like I feel like it kind of depends on who it is. Like some people, I'll take a picture. They might not be like really happy to do it.
Yeah.
But like they'll do it just to get the situation over. And, like I know that there's people who are like, oh well, I met this actor in this restaurant. He or she was very sweet. So why can't you be the? But like you just need to use, like regardless of who it is, just like use discernment.
Yeah. Like understand your boundaries.
That's basically what it comes down to. Like you can have a connection because like you can't argue like the way someone like makes you feel like an artist. Like you listen to their music, like you can't say, well, they don't really mean that much because like you said you like 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Like they meant something to you, but I feel like there's a difference between like acknowledging they had like a significant impact on your life, and then like you going to their concert, like getting up on stage and like rushing up and like, hey, trying to hug them, or, like that sort of
like rushing the stage,
yeah.
And like trying to get on the mic. And I mean some celebrities like Travis Scott, I'm sure you saw a video of a fan running up on stage and he let him be on stage for a little bit, but not everyone can do that.
Not everyone, like music people specifically, not everyone like tries to create that type of hype around themselves.
Yeah.
Like creating that sort of like some people want that sort of like free for all type of energy. Like a part of me gets it because it's a little fun, like being on the outside, like watching it all.
It's like you want it to keep happening a little bit because it's funny to see on social media.
Yeah.
But like it is being kind of rude. Or it is being rude. It's not kind of. It is very rude to do.
Rude and sometimes very illegal.
Of course.
Like depending on where you're.
Especially like with Travis Scott's special effects, he has fire everywhere and like you don't want to run on stage and they're blasting fire in the air.
You don't know where the equipment is, like where you're like you step on like a circle. Just think it's like it
explodes. Like and like there's definitely other celebrities that aren't just like singers where like Joe Burrow, I've heard this story a couple times. It was on ESPN, I think it was. It's where a fan approached him and he was at a restaurant eating with his wide receivers, which were T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. This is for my sports people. But a little fan walked up to him asking for an autograph and a picture, and he just straight up said no. Now, I think the fan respected his boundaries and left him alone, but the fan felt, really upset about it. Personally, you just gotta kind of grow up and accept it,
because
like they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, and it's like it's like we say they're people, but like they're really people, because like the fact that they're celebrities is like the only thing, and their net worth probably. Like like those two things are the only things that like separate any sort of like normal boundary towards approaching someone, or like in theory at least. Like you wouldn't approach. Well, maybe if it's like a small town and they're like local celebrities, like a football team.
Yeah.
Like a diner, you wouldn't go up, like regardless of how young they are. Like you probably wouldn't go up to that group and like ask for a picture.
Including like people including if it's Tom Brady. I just got him stuck in my head right now. Like if you go up to Tom Brady asking for an autograph, knowing him, he's probably nice. He's a lot nicer than Joe Burrow, but he can say no. And fans need to like understand that boundary. If they say no, just be like, okay, that's fine. Even if you feel a little embarrassed, I get it. I've been like embarrassed a lot, but when someone says no, you should be okay with it. You should never cross that boundary, especially if one of your family members say no or somebody you know personally says no. You should never cross that boundary with them. So you should never cross the boundary with a celebrity, who also might have security with them. Like it's a little dangerous to do. Especially like going back to Chappelle Rowan, to wrap it up a little bit. Chappelle Rowan was grabbed by fans and stalked, as we said, and there's a fine boundary between like, oh, I saw Chappelle Rowan in public today.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's like a cool story.
Yeah, but oh, I saw Chappelle Rowan. I tried to talk to her. She said no, and I still tried to talk to her. It makes you seem like, one, you're weird.
Yeah.
Another thing is like, just leave a person be. Like I would never go up to a random stranger if they never want me to talk to them. I like my personal time.
Yeah.
And I know that celebrities also like their personal time because they're always in that spotlight. No matter what they do, they always have some fan base around them.
And this is like this period of free time is probably the only free time they've had in like weeks or months. Like this time at like this restaurant or just getting groceries, like I keep saying. Like this is the only time they have to just be themselves.
Yeah, without wearing a disguise, like
right.
She feels like everywhere she goes, she's always in disguise. Same with Billie Eilish. Same with John Cena. Same with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. All these people, you need to respect their boundaries. Parasocial relationships can lead to unhealthy obsessions and worship. Especially when 21 Pilots, just a little recap, they made a whole clique where it felt like they were gatekeeping. They were taking their music and saying that it was for them and nobody else. So yeah, respect your parasocial relationships.
Or, depending on your, like the James story I was saying, or things could happen because not everyone's passive.
Yeah, like and it is their job to keep up with that. I know it can be a lot, including for somebody that just randomly possibly gets famous, or somebody that likes the fame but doesn't appreciate that certain fan base that ruins it for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all we got.
I feel like there's more we could have talked about, but I feel like that's the base of the conversation. Like just how far it can go, and like it can go farther. Like I mentioned, like it can go into like criminal behavior.
Yeah, but, like crazy criminal, like trespassing and like actually physically hurting people.
But I feel like we've touched enough ground to get our point across.
Yeah, just use common sense.
Yeah, just don't be a douchebag.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna do another podcast shortly.
Mm-hmm.
We already have plans for another one. I'm Sean. I'm from Lions Roar. I'm actually pretty new.
And I'm Ian. I'm an old guy.
He's older.
Yeah. But we'll have another podcast and it'll be great.
Yeah. We'll work towards that. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the Mainstream, and we are signing off.